Alex Newcase, our Braxton here with Braxton Smith, who's come out with first round knockout. Braxton, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy to be talking with you. Um, Dude, it's only been a few days since your fight. I mean, it's been, yeah, a few days since your fight. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Excited about it. Really happy. Just got to get over this hand and wrist injury, man. I'll probably be out for the next 6 weeks, but other than that, man, I feel amazing.
Did you hurt your hand in the fight, or was that prior to the fight?
It's been hurt since probably February, beginning of February. I
Mm,
just kind of kept ignoring it, man, and kept doing my own thing, training and stuff like that. So the Savage fight, I really jacked it up because I hit him with a left hook, and that's what knocked him out. And it, man, I felt it like probably 20 minutes after that fight. Um, and I didn't even really hit him with my left hand Saturday, man. Really, it was my right hand that dropped him. But I think when I landed on top of him, on top of the cage, and pushed off, and I threw like one punch that kind of woke him back up. I think that's when I kind of re-injured it again. So I'm gonna just really just heal it and just kind of sit out for 6 weeks and just give it some time to heal so I can be 100% while I'm fighting.
awesome. Well, that's good to hear. I do want to talk about your football career in a little bit, but um, I mean, with your hand injury, you're probably used to having a bunch of injuries playing football your whole life.
Right, for sure.
Awesome, dude. Well, I want to talk about the fight a little bit. What was the game plan going in the fight, and how do you feel about your performance?
The game plan going in the fight with him being so well rounded and having so much more experience than me was just to kickbox. We knew he was going to take his time and not rush me like my last two opponents, which works out perfect for me. Um, and just kind of take my time and just not let him. He wasn't going to be able to take me down. If he would have got in danger, if he wouldn't have got knocked out, and he felt threatened, he wanted to take me down. I wasn't going to let him get the takedown. I was going to stuff every takedown and probably slam him in the process. But yeah, just kind of stand up, man, and just waiting to kind of catch him. But he did a really good job of in and out and angles and moving. So I had to kind of really time that knockout and kind of throw more speed than power and try to, so that punch probably had about 70% steam on it, because I wanted to throw more speed with it so I could actually like touch him. I just wanted to touch him. But I feel good about the performance, man. 2 day notice, and it was one of those fights where you kind of need a full camp, and I took care of business in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, 2 days notice. I mean, what did you just were just like let's just do it, let's just stay active kind of a thing?
Yeah, when Johnny called me, I was actually giving my daughter a bath, and he called me. He's like, "Hey, man, like I wouldn't blame you if you wouldn't take this. This is crazy." I was like, "Oh, okay. Give me 30 minutes. Let me call you back." When he sent me the information on the guy, I looked at some videos and talked to my fiance and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." Yeah. So I think I called him. I told him to give me 20 minutes. I think I called him back in like 10. I was like, "Yeah, I'm game. I'm good."
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Well, before we talk about like what's next, for anybody that does not know your story, how did you get into mixed martial arts?
So my mom got me into mixed martial arts. Yeah, she did. She was a big fan. After my football career ended, I felt like what am I gonna do now? And my mom was like, "Well, I ain't gonna let the streets take you. You're not gonna get in any trouble. So we're gonna try mixed martial arts." And with her introducing me to the game, I had my first fight, amateur fight. Like the week she introduced me, I was fighting. She introduced me like Sunday. I was fighting that Saturday. And my first fight, amateur fight, was at a Hooters car show, and the ring was in like the parking lot, back in Alabama. So, bro, it was like it was crazy. It was crazy country.
That's good. So you fought Chase Sherman back in 2014.
Yeah, I fought Sherman.
So, talk about that fight, and then it took you a minute to get back into mixed martial arts. So, what was that layoff like? Were you playing football in between there?
Yeah, so after the Sherman fight, I moved to Austin, Texas,
Okay.
and I was just lifting weights and playing football. I just really didn't have a desire to fight. Before the Sherman fight, I really wasn't in the right space. I was in the right space and right mind to fight either. So I was just out here lifting weights and playing football. Like I was playing semi-pro football, and I got signed to play arena football in Vermont. So I was living in Vermont in 2017 for a little bit. So just kind of doing everything, any and everything, but fighting and training to fight. So um, but yeah, shout out to Chase Sherman. I don't have any issues with him. It was back in the day, but when we do run that back, man, it's gonna be completely different.
Do you regret taking that fight?
Nah, yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where I've always been self-trained. Like I've always been doing this by myself, my amateur career, and a little bit but yeah, my pro career as well. Because I just signed with a gym, so now I have a gym home actually. So Chase was with Alan Belcher, but it's no excuses because when you sign a contract and you feel you're ready, then that's what you do. You step in and you take the fight. No excuses. Um, he won fair and square, but yeah, we'll definitely run it back one day.
So let's talk about your football career a little bit. I did you start playing football as a little kid, and what position did you play?
Man, so I kind of was a late bloomer with football. I started at 10, and I had so much speed and size. Man, they put me right at running back. So I've been playing running back, bro, since I can remember.
God damn.
Yeah, bro, I've been playing running back since I can remember. So
Awesome. Well, I've talked to a few football players who've crossed over from football to mixed martial arts, and with you playing football your entire career, what were the emotions like when you found out that like you weren't going to the NFL?
so for me, man, it was more it wasn't that I wasn't good enough. You can go and look on my Facebook and my IG videos, man. At 260 pounds, bro, I'm hurdling guys like I'm running 80-yard touchdowns, like I'm catching one-handed passes in the back of the end zone, like so it wasn't the talent, it was just the mental part for me, and sitting back watching guys I dominated in high school and little league like get drafted and have their name called. Oh man, it stung, like it hurt. It's like, dang, that was you. You were better than those guys. But it was a mental thing for me, man. I just kind of had a lot of people trying to help me and get me on the right path so I could, go play Division 1 and go to the NFL. But I just had, other things I wanted to do, and I just wasn't really passionate about it like my dad and everybody else in my family. So,
Mhm.
but I definitely could have, not trying to be cocky, but I definitely, talent wise, I definitely belong with those guys for sure.
Gotcha. I've asked this question to other NFL players too. Why do you feel like there's like football has the most amount of athletes come over to mixed martial arts? Like you don't see a lot of baseball players, you don't see a lot of basketball
No,
players crossed over. Like why is it football players come over to mixed martial art?
I think because they're so similar, being aggression, like pretty aggressive sports, man. That's what I think. The aggression, you know what I mean. So in football, I mean, those guys have probably been fighting, getting in trouble, their whole career as well. Playing Division 1 or collegiate football and then get to the NFL was still a violent and aggressive game, and so it's the fight game, for us, So that's what I think, man. It plays hand in hand a little bit, with the athleticism. You got to have skill and you got to be well rounded, of course, but you can train an athlete and teach an athlete how to do pretty much anything, So that's why I think you got a lot of football players, across, coming over to the MMA world.
You said that you signed with the gym. What gym are you training at now?
Black Sheep Boxing. Shout out Black Sheep Boxing and MMA in Austin, Texas.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Well, congratulations on that. I'm excited. I'm,
I
I'm
appreciate
excited
it,
for
man.
you. What's
So
next?
excited.
What do you want? You said that you're gonna sit out, let your hand heal. After that, what do you want next?
So today I'm gonna sign a pretty nice deal with Peak for probably the end of the year.
Okay.
End of the year fighting for those guys. My next fight is October 1st in San Angelo, Texas. Um, yeah, I don't have an opponent yet, so I'm gonna sign the contract probably today. But that's what's next. Just kind of letting this hand heal. I'm still gonna be training. Like I start back training tomorrow. Um, won't be throwing any punches, but just kind of doing everything else. And just get ready to finish out the year strong, man. Undefeated. The whole 2022 season undefeated. And the number one goal for me, I mean, it's not UFC. It's any big promotion where I can capture a world title. It doesn't have to be the UFC. It could be Bellator, PFL, one fight. It could be any one of those guys. So, when I feel like me and my team feel like we're ready sometime next year, then and if we get that call, then we'll be ready and we'll accept it like with flying colors. So, just kind of healing up, man, and just getting right back to it, pretty much.
You said that you don't prefer where you go. I mean, if you had your choice, right? So there's the UFC, which gives you all the fame, gives you the most eyeballs, right?
Right,
PFL gives you that $1 million check.
right,
Bellator, the heavyweight division is kind of wide open at the moment.
right.
What like if if you had your choice tomorrow, where would you go?
Man, that's a good one, brother. If I had my choice tomorrow, it would be the UFC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
I grew up watching it. I've always been a big fan, so I'm watching it every other weekend. You know, I do watch Bellator and PFL. Don't get me wrong, but it's the UFC. It's like it's the NFL of the fight world. You know, so um, if I had those options and those three right there on the table, then it would definitely be the UFC. But if the UFC was to never come, I would never be upset or cry about it or have any regrets. You know, I could fight 7 to 10 years in any of those any one of those other organizations, be completely happy with my life.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. Finally, I see you're wearing a Mike Tyson shirt. You a big Tyson fan?
big Tyson fan, bro. It's one of my favorite shirts, but yeah, I'm a huge Mike Tyson fan. My favorite fighter of all time.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Braxton, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. Tell everyone where they can follow you. If you have any sponsors you want to plug them. And if you want to thank anybody, go ahead.
So yeah, shout out to everybody that's just like been rocking with me from day one and believing in me. My boy Spider in San Antonio, the Fight Card podcast, my new management company, KO. I want to also thank Tiny Homes. That's one of my new sponsors. Um, yeah, man, everybody's just been rocking with me and caring about me. I appreciate it. Really, and no hard feelings. You know, I wish you guys the best also as well. Those are some good guys to work with. Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, it's my mom's birthday, so happy birthday, mom! I love you. Rest in peace.